Misty Shear, part owner of the Foundry, which is a kettlebell-based and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. How did I choose the environment? I don't know.
Yes.
The environment. What do I mean by it? Oh, we needed a warehouse because of the mats and having factoring in having actually other training going on, so boot camps, kettlebells. We needed some place that was big enough without a lot of walls. We needed a very big open warehouse style.
Okay.
So we mirrored it, we went online and went looking at CrossFit gyms. And I said CrossFit. But they've really rigged up some big gyms, and we got a lot of ideas from other gyms that we've seen online, trainers. And the red came from another gym. It was a CrossFit gym in the States. It was big, a huge warehouse. So we stole ideas from everywhere and made it fit for what we needed in our space. So that's how we picked this.
Okay.
Location was parking. So you have to be zoned. We were not zoned for a gym in Edmonton. So what they did was, it was an industrial, so when we applied, they had to send letters to all of the surrounding businesses if anyone had a problem with us to get zoned properly. So zoning is the most important from the city of Edmonton, because we're actually licensed. So once we found that we got the zone, it was a parking issue. So during the day, the gym isn't really busy at day, it's at night. This is industrial, so it's really busy during the day, not at night. So it actually worked out good for us. So we had to factor in parking, bus depots. Like, there's a lot of things because we knew that we were gonna have a lot of students from me in the jiu-jitsu world, and there's a huge bus stop, like one street over at Melbourne. At 86 is a huge bus depot.
Okay, across from the...
We had to factor in lots of different things to make sure that we were accessible. And daytime parking is challenging, but the road is always available in this area.
Yes.
So that's how we picked the location. And luck. Pure dumb luck. Because I had phoned when I was working EMS, I drove around to all the areas that I liked that had warehouse style, and phoned 20 different realtors, and only a couple got back to me. It was really a nightmare to try to find a location.
Okay, so I know you started kind of broke out at the U of A. So how did you kind of like establish yourself?
Luck. I think with the university, they gave us a base on how to teach our style and get people used to us. So when I opened this place, I was really stressed out because I was still working full-time EMS because I had to pay for everything. Because we only had like 12 people sign up, and it doesn't pay the rent. Right? 12 people does not pay the rent, my share of the rent. So by the university and word of mouth, Kijiji, a lot of work up towards hand and free advertising, because advertising will suck all your dollars away. We were able to start getting enough students to at least cover the rent. And then I was working on the side to cover my host, my
More
mortgage
expenses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how we kind of did it. It was just word of mouth.
So what are the opportunities? Well, we were working EMS, so you kind of like answered that already.
Yeah.
So support. So like Mike.
Yeah. So I
Brian.
needed a business partner because I couldn't afford the initial cost of this place. Because when you factor in equipment and renovations, it cost about $50,000 between the two of us. And then helping out cleaning the gym and doing some of the day-to-day tasks to monthly tasks to keep the maintain the gym is quite cheap. But it's nice to have a business partner.
Okay, that's awesome. So you pretty much answered the next following questions in pretty good detail. Travel time, you got that. How is managing your clients? So that's pretty much Joy's department.
No, it's a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. To manage clients, it depends. The financial side I do have a piece of, but Joy does. She does the initial touch. She gets their information, sells them the stuff, but I manage everything else. She does my books, but I do all the middle. I have a software that collects the money each month. We do Visa. We do mostly Visa. We don't do debit anymore, or credit cards, or bank account or IFT.
Yes, the old system.
Transfer. It's too much pain in the arse. So we did everything by credit card. So she does the initial, but I still manage. So I still work I physically am on the floor, let's say 3 to 4 hours a day teaching, but I'm also working 4 to 5 hours at home, website, making sure that the finances are properly, because I have to double check everything. the money collected to my membership, because sometimes cards don't work and I don't get flags. So I have to make sure that all the money is coming in so I can pay the rent. So it's hard, but it's very small. Ours is still very small. I'm not like, you know, a Hensel Gracie with 2,000 students, right? I can still manage it, but it is very time consuming and a lot of lessons learned, a lot of mistakes.
Okay. So it's just a go as you learn type situation?
Yeah, and then if you have someone that can teach you different systems, like originally I had Randy and Kevin, they used this one system. It didn't work out for me at the end because they have hundreds of students and it was very costly, and it wasn't a good blend for us who were ripping us off for merchant fees. Because you get dinged for a lot of fees when you're in business. Owning your own business, not working out of home, from how much it costs every time someone swipes for debit, credit, fees for everything. So I was paying hundreds of dollars in fees, and then I was able to now 2 years or 3 years now into this, I chopped it all down. So I didn't have to raise my initial. I'm pretty much close to what I charged when I first opened 3 years ago, because I was able to chop all the fees down.
Okay, that's awesome. Are clients difficult? Of
Yes.
course.
Well, there's always, I call them my problem children. So from fitness to martial arts, you have your problem children, guys that don't listen, they're bullies, egos. So I got that kind of problem children. Then I've got the odd financial problem child. And it's just, you know, their billing never comes out right, their credit cards are always over. And it's just, those ones are quite easy. I'm just like, hey, you know, I gotta pay the bills, you have to pay the bills. So I'm very lucky I don't have a lot of them. I've been stiffed a couple times with bad checks, and those guys are gone. It's a long story, but so I learned the hard way not to take checks unless I know the person, because they can get stiffed.
Awesome.
So,
Do you ever adjust in your training techniques if the client is difficult? Well, as you said, guys bullying other people in school don't exist.
yeah.
Period.
It's hard. It's a lot of learning and frustration, I think. Some clients are more high maintenance.
Okay.
They just require more of your attention. And I try to make people how I teach is self-sufficient. We're all adults. If I don't do a warm-up, you need to be warm, right? So if you're here 10 minutes early, you're just sitting and talking, that's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
When I hit the floor for kettlebells, I need everyone to be warmed up, ready to go. We're gonna hit it right away, 'cause it's time. So I try to give everyone the ownership of, I'm not your parent. I'm gonna give you all the tools, but for you to, and eventually in personal training, I hope they one day don't need me, because I've given you all the tools that you need to be successful on your own. Because I don't want anyone to be dependent on me in personal training. In jiu-jitsu, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Right. We're more of it's a different dynamics
lot.
and team. Right. It's a team. You want to stick with them and grow as a team, but in personal training, it's completely different. You know, some people I don't even want. Right. And it's true. Some clients you just don't blend. So I'll make the workout really hard, so they never come back, or I'll just say, you know what, I'm not for you. I don't work with children for personal training, and I don't work with morbidly obese. Nothing wrong with it. I think it's a great field. It's just not what I'm good at. I don't need athletes. I don't want you. Sometimes you don't want the Olympic athletes either. Sometimes it's okay to have just a regular person that wants to excel and do well. So you got to figure out what your client is, what you're best at teaching.
Okay, awesome. We don't really hire a whole lot of people here.
No.
Nope. So past that. Oh, the insurance.
Yes. So we are going to be bringing in trainers for Mike's classes. So yes, we're going to in CanFit Pro, which is a money grab, and AFLCA. You can get insurance, which is $200 a year, that covers your own $2 million liability. When I bring in outside trainers, they're going to for that they're going to need it.
Yes.
So I'm going to require them to have the $2 million insurance liability and their governing body will have it, and they give them a discount. So that's not an issue. If they don't have it, then we're not interested, because it's all an expense we have to pay. I have to pay it every year. I have insurance for liability for jiu-jitsu, which probably I'm the only club in the city that does, and it's very expensive. But it covers us, and it gives me a sound mind, right, for insurance and everything. So it's a pain in my butt, but it's very well worth it.
Awesome. That tied on to our last question, but all right.
Yeah.
Educational sessions like
All the time,
Martin Rooney's.
I did Martin Rooney's level 1, Warriors. I love it. I'm slated for number 2 in October, the online one. best probably training course you could ever invest your money in. But yeah, I'm always trying to learn to bring not the new gadget or the newest like pole dancing, the newest fad, but to bring quality to the gym and to make my clients interested, right? To keep them always interested and always going.
Yeah. Well, you debt,
Money,
money.
lots, line of credit. We did it through line of credit and credit cards. Credit cards got me lots of points. Line of credit did most of it. We did a business line of credit, and it probably was to start 20 to 25,000 to start. But our gym was very unique, right?
Yeah.
We had to pay a lot of fees, lots of different fees. Initial equipment. So we went to Kijiji, bought a lot of stuff used. I got wholesale stuff. I got a lot of wholesale and just bargaining. Because I could have went and bought everything new, but I bargained to get all my stuff. I had guys bidding on it. You know, do I want to spend $5,000 here or $7,000 here for mats? So yeah, it was a bit of expensive. Line of credit was the best. I'm paying off the debt still, so I'm 3 years in.
Okay.
I'm paying off the debt still, but I do have a long-term plan because I've had personal things that have involved me not paying off. When my spouse goes to school, it stopped us paying off the loans. So it's just a balance of everything.
Okay.
So I am making a profit right now. I do make good money. Like I make enough to pay my wage that I don't have to work EMS, but I work EMS for fun. So I do make a lot of work. And I'm hoping to pay it all off in 3 years.
Okay.
Insurance, I got a general liability insurance. I got, we have business insurance to cover the gym, like all the equipment inside the gym, and like landowner's insurance, and then we have liability insurance.
Okay. What were the unexpected costs?
Merchant fees. Every time someone swipes a debit, we found out, and that's after we signed a 3-year contract, don't sign anything. So you talk to me first. That debit machine has been in beta my existence. It's gone in 5 cents for this, 10 cents for this, 30 cents for this, 2.5 for this. The fluctuating visa costs, membership costs. There's a lot of hidden fees and stuff. Yearly security fees for merchant accounts. Like seriously, I look at my statements going, why am I getting hit with all these fees? So merchant fees to use credit cards to do billing systems are your biggest expenses.
Oh.
So that's my continual.
That's also continued expenses.
Yeah, continued expenses.
The contract, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have any. I have Mike. We just ran each other. We're just friends. Love of kettlebells. So we ran into each other and decided that him leaving his location was cheaper than owning his own. Like he was paying more in renting than he did owning from here. Well, we lease it, but it's our gym. We make all the decisions.
Oh, okay.
So I got very fortunate bumping into him.
Awesome.
No loans, line of credit.
Yeah.
No legal issues. It was just getting the licensing for the gym to do it proper.
Okay.
So that was the hardest part, going to the city, making sure we are fire code, we were up to snuff because we actually have a city license. So that was the most difficult, I think, because we had to do blueprints and to scale, and lucky enough I had a student that knew all that stuff, and he did that through membership, so we had to do a lot of, who can do this? Like Sean, he's not here anymore, but he built a lot of his stuff, but he knew some others, so utilizing friends and people that you know. He'd be surprised who knows what. He'd be surprised.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So we'll get on to the marketing
Yep.
part. How did you initially attract clients?
Through the university, we pulled that and through Kijiji, online and basically free, because I'm cheap. I found everywhere that was free, and then what I found out when I did that, when you updated it, you get hit with the first page all the time on Google.
Okay.
So we can get a lot of hits on different aspects of the business, kettlebells, jiu-jitsu, stuff I'm selling on eBay, stuff I'm selling on Kijiji. You can get nailed and brought in a lot through free stuff. In it's $5, you get CEOing. You get a lot of stuff for, if you know what to look for, you get a lot of stuff very cheap.
Awesome.
Cost is very cheap, I don't pay.
Marketing yourself, obviously as a black belt and kettlebell instructor and
But it's
all
just,
that.
I have to travel and compete. So I've got to travel all the time, which is really rough, I know.
Yeah.
I compete, and I don't have that's one thing I don't do. I don't have a target market, but I do have a market is when people come in, I interview everybody. I talk to them. If I get a weird icky feeling, you're on a waiting list. That's just the way it has to happen, because yes, I can take your money, but what happens if you're bad for the team and you're cancer and you make people quit, not want to roll? So that's the hardest part, to really filter people, to make sure I don't necessarily want their money, I want good people. You know, I got some people that can't afford to pay. I give them a deal because they're such good people and they make the gym better. So sometimes biting the bullet, it's an investment for me in them. So that's how I look at it.
Okay. Target market. Well,
I want everybody, anybody that bleeds. I don't want, it's really, you don't want the Olympic athletes. You want the average person that just wants to have fun and work out and belong to something better and have goals and believe in those goals. That's what I always look for.
establish credibility.
Practice what you preach.
Okay.
So if you want credibility, practice what you preach. So you can take a course in kettlebells and be an instructor, but never touch a kettlebell and get your instructor ticket. So if I take a yoga course for the weekend, don't take yoga from me. Just because I have a certificate doesn't mean I'm good at it. I do kettlebells really well. I teach it, I live it, I lift it. So people, I can adapt to it. But some of the other things I don't follow as much, so I'm not really that good at. Mind you, don't have to take certification in every bloody thing that's out there, but there's some things you should take a certification for. And learn and get better at and find your niche, right?
Okay. Product and services.
I don't do as much personal training as I used to. I do small, right now I just do kettlebell sports, my focus, because I can give the most energy. Jiu-jitsu, of course, and anything to make, jiu-jitsu, everything kind of falls on jiu-jitsu. And then I sell things that are related to what I teach. So it's dumb for me to sell yoga mats when I teach kettlebells. So they need chalk, they need kettlebells, they need form protectors. That's pretty much all you need. I don't want to get into clothing because it's a pain in my butt. I'll send them out. Jiu-jitsu, I sell gis. I sell anything that you need to start that day, except for shoes. Weightlifting shoes, I send them up the streets. I'm not bringing them in. So that's been the hardest of buying stuff and getting stuck with it on the shelf. That's what I've got a few items that are still sitting there, but it's a hard to invest the money. You're investing $3,000 in a shop for gis. That's what I do. $3,000, boom, gis. But I need the stock because I'm not going to give. When they come in, they gotta buy it from Players Market and wait 2 weeks to get it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't know how it fits, and so I like to have I don't have a huge variety of gis, but I have really good basic gis for good price, and then the more expensive gis, one or two, and that's it. So that's what I just offer.
How are you different from the rest, really? What makes you guys unique here?
We actually care. I know my clients. I know everybody's name. I know 99.9% of everyone's name, except when they're new and they disappear, they never come back again. And I'm like, then they show up. I'm like, didn't you come here last month? I care. I care too much. I think that's what hurts sometimes because I really do. I like to touch base with people if I haven't seen them in a few weeks. I like to talk. I talk to them and see how they're doing, what their goals are. Do I really know a lot about their lives? I don't. But do I know about what they do here and what they can do here? Because I watch and I look and I'm interaction with them. I'm not just, all right, 5 sets of 8 and I sit on the mats and sleep. Like for jiu-jitsu, I'm active, I'm rolling, I'm involved, I yell at you, I slap you. And in kettlebells, I yell at them. I love yelling at people in kettlebells or personal training. I'm interactive with them, I push them, I know them. So I think that's what really makes it different. I'm not a generic, just do this. We care and we put pictures of them on our boards. We want to know what they're doing, what their goals are. So that's, I think, what really makes us different.
Awesome. What makes our school different? Very well, so that's kind of the same. Well, that's pretty much all the questions.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? The hardest part when you learn is how to charge. So I do my research, so I know what all the gyms are in the city, but what do they charge, and I go in the middle. I don't go too low, and I don't go too high. I am high on some things because you know what? I've spent a lot of money to do what I compete. I go to grappling camps for a week at a time. I belong to every membership site known to man. I'm always online learning. So some things I will charge more because I learned it. I'm the only registered RJJ real black belt. Me and Brian are now the only ones in the city, probably in Alberta. I'm registered IBJJF, which I know no one else is. I'm top 100 of black belts, all male or female in the world, ranked in the IBJJF. Our school is registered in the IBJJF, and this costs money, and a lot of money. So I think when I look at that and I go, I have a lot to offer, I've got a great school, I can charge this because our guys are right. Our guys are good. I care. They police each other. They help each other. So that's the hardest part. You got to be able to qualify that cost, and that's the hardest thing is there in this field. And now I do. If someone wants me to teach them kettlebells, or even jiu-jitsu, outside of our gym, they're paying 100, 150 an hour. Why? Because of what we've built here. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, anything at
Thanks,
all.
Professor.
You're welcome.